Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Trogdor, and my voice is actually loud this time. Previously, my entire microphone was just turned off, so I gotta scrap that part of the recording. Good thing I checked before I completely lost my voice. Anyway, you're not here to listen to me talk about my computer problems. You're not here to listen to me, discuss literally anything. You're here to watch some guy play a Pokemon game versus some other guy. It just so happens that one of those guys is me, and the other guy is my opponent, ShadowStitch, who is a part of this league. What other possibility is there? You're playing someone who isn't part of this league, Trogdor? Come on. Anyway, there is a very, very good chance that you already know who my opponent is. Probably most of my views are coming from my opponent's side of the channel, let's be honest. Got literally 100 times the subscribers that I have. But I'm not here to, beg for subs, grow my channel. I honestly really don't care about that. I'd be happy if I just had like 10 subs. But at the same time, it's like I put work into these videos and I want that work to be recognized, but I don't ever intend to make money from YouTube. I think YouTube's a kind of awful platform and I don't want to support it by giving it ads. Whatever. I just want someone down in the comments to be like, hi, so I can say hi, and for someone else in the comments to be like, your video was cool, and I'd be like, thanks. That's all I really want. That's like that, and to retire in Tuscany and have my own vineyard and drink Chianti day in and day out. And maybe that's actually realer than the close, because remote working is more common than not. And yeah, I haven't stepped into an office in over a year, and I could probably afford a house in Tuscany. That'd be pretty cool. Have my own vineyard. Anyway, let's talk about Pokemon. Let's talk about my opponent's team, which is Victini, Weavile, already just ow. There's a Buzzwole, ow. Slowking, Venusaur, Torkoal, double ow. Tornadus Incarnate, Aromatisse, ow. Magneton, Runerigus, and Big Dubwool. So compare that to my team. I've got Urshifu and other things. Like, come on, let's be real. The only reason I've gotten any wins at all is because I've got one of the most broken Pokemon in the entire fucking game. And it just so happens my opponent's got two switch-ins for it in the form of Buzzwole and the Aromatisse. And my opponent's got some other stuff. This Suncore is stupidly scary. Like, 4 attacks with Life Orb Venusaur is so tough to prep for. So tough. Like, between Dual Stab and Weather Ball and Earth Power, which apparently Venusaur gets, like, I just kind of get donked. Why am I getting a YouTube notification? Ugh. Now I just find out that I'm signed into the wrong thing. Wow. Also, there's Victini in the sun. Ow. Then there's an entire Weavile, which abandoned Weavile outspeeds everything unboosted on my team and just kind of ha-has everything, so that's fun. But you know what? I have a team. Let's take a look at my team right now. I press the buttons, and I have a Corviknight. So Corviknight, Boeing CH-47, the Chinook Transport Helicopter. I've got the Wakanberry. You may have noticed that there's kind of a Magneton on this team. And considering how well Corviknight does in general versus everything except, like, Sun, Corviknight is a massive, massive, massive thing that I need on this team. Especially if I want to kill Weavile. Especially if I want to do damage to Buzzwole. Especially if I want to have like 100% switch into Aromatisse. Especially if I want to be able to defog. But then there's this Magneton that's just like, nope. And then I am unable to, like, U-turn before it just donks me with a Thunderbolt, because it's like I could be like Shed Cell, but instead I'm Wakanberry and Body Press to beat that, which is pretty cool because I just do like a boatload of damage. I live, I roost, I defog. Corviknight is essential for me to win. If for some reason the Venusaur does not have Weather Ball, which, come on, fat chance of that, I resist everything that I can bring. and that's why it's just so obvious that the Venusaur is bringing Weather Ball. Like I don't see anything except like Life Orb for attacks being what it brings. So yeah, Corviknight, you know, always important for me. It's here. It's gonna do a thing and stuff. Cool. Next is Galaxy Brain, the Slowking. So I'm rocking Black Sludge, not AV. Black Sludge with a lot of defense and stuff. I'm running a Trick Room set. So the beautiful thing about Slowking is how well it can take hits and how hard it hits back. The bad thing about it is its speed, which I'm rocking a minus speed nature in, Quiet Nature. So basically, I take a hit, I go for Trick Room, and then something dies. That's just the laws of, you know, I could prove that. I live something, I go for Trick Room, and something dies. Don't need much else besides Psychic, Sludge Bomb, and Flamethrower. The only thing that's really scary for the Slowking is the Weavile, which I mentioned, like, Banded Weavile just, like, takes a dump on me. Like, and not in a funny way, but in just a, oh no, I have no chance to survive, make my time. So Slowking completely dies. That Corviknight can kind of take a hit, but not really. So there's that. Next, I have Raikou, which I have an AV because I'm looking at things that Venusaur has. Venusaur, big, scary, fat Venusaur that just kind of ha-has everything. I have AV because that means there's like traffic outside that's kind of terrible and horrible, and I don't even have my window open. AV means I can live in Earth Power from Mod as Venusaur, and basically any other hit that it wants to go for, which is just kind of nuts. And then do a lot of damage back with Extrasensory, put it in range of Sucker Punch from Urshifu. And then I've got Thunderbolt, Volt Switch, Scald, because his only immunity to Electric is Runerigus, which kind of gets ha-ha'd by Scald. Venusaur does, of course, resist my stab, but that gets ha-ha'd by Extrasensory. Raikou is just overall great. It's faster than everything except Weavile and un-sun boosted Venusaur. So Raikou is just going to be fun. I'm just going to like, oh, Volt Switch, easy. Because honestly, I don't see Runerigus, like, I don't see it the most likely thing in the world. I think he's better off bringing, like, so my predicting of the 6 are the Suncore, obviously, Victini, duh, Aromatisse, duh. So what is that? 1, 2, Weavile, duh. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then either Slowking, or what did I say? Victini, Weavile, Venusaur, Torkoal, Aromatisse, and then either Slowking or Buzzwole. I don't know how scared he is of Urshifu. And maybe Magneton. I'm actually, like, it could be between, like, Buzzwole, Slowking, Magneton, depending on how necessary Weavile is for him to win, and how badly he needs Corviknight to die for that to happen. So, yeah. Based on those 6 that I'm predicting, Raikou does a fantastic job. Then I have Magmortar. So my Magmortar is able to, actually has a pretty decent speed tier matchup. I think it's Victini and Weavile that outspeed it, and Tornadus Eye, but I don't see Tornadus Eye coming. Basically, there's a massive speed gap that Magmortar is able to fill, and I have Boots, and I just hit things with Fire Blast. Imagine, and I've also got Scorching Sands, Thunderbolt, and Fire Spin. I was thinking about AV, but then I realized I don't want to take 25% every time I come in. Like, that's the purpose of Boots. And then anytime that, like, something comes in and it can tank a hit from Magmortar, but it decides, like, I don't want to be in anymore. It's like, joke's on you, I have Fire Spin, which does, like, what, an extra 8th health every turn? So yeah, Magmortar is going to be pretty cool for me, especially if there's Sun Up and Fire Blast just, like, except maybe Slowking, just does so much damage to everything. It's going to be nuts. It's going to be absolute madness, I tell you. And then I have Scarfed Urshifu. You know, it does Urshifu things. Wicked Blow, Close Combat, Pajab, and Sucker Punch. Like, come on, it's an Urshifu. And I'm not going to be stupid with it this game and let it stay in versus an Aromatisse when I'm locked into Wicked Blow. That would be dumb, right? Yeah, only someone dumb would do that except in front of a Slurpuff and just completely throw the game like that. Yeah, that was kind of weird and bad. And then Shrek 2, Swampert, last thing, Rocks, Flip Turn, Earthquake, Yawn. Rindo Berry to, what is it that I want to live against? Energy Ball from Victini and an unboosted Giga Drain from Venusaur. And then I hit, it's more for Victini, honestly, special Victini especially, so that I can just like Flip Turn out of there and wow, it's dead now. Or Earthquake and oh no, you're dying. Haha, that's what I want to see happen to Victini. Basically, like, get up Rocks, Yawn, Flip Turn. It's going to be pretty cool. So, yeah, that's all cool and fine and done. And let's watch the battle now. So this is all post-comp because I didn't really want to do this live. And, yeah. So, I'm going to see for a minute if my opponent, in fact, brought the 6 that I was anticipating, that I got all the calcs ready for, that I did most of my prep around. I did so much preposition sentences ending with that I'm like doing absolutely horrible things to the English language. But the English language is like one of the worst there is. So seeing what my opponent brought, so I got 1, 2, 3, 4 right, but there's no Weavile. I'm like, Nani the fuck? Doko the fuck is the Weavile? Like, seriously. What? You want me to, like, not just get 6-0'd by that thing? Okay, cool. So there is a Runerigus instead, actually. So it's going to be a not-so-pleasant time for Raikou to do Raikou things. There is both Buzzwole and Aromatisse, probably to, you know, stop Urshifu, you know, block its path and all that stuff. But I've got a fair amount of things I can do damage to those things. Victini is going to be scary. Venusaur is going to be scary. Torkoal, I'm expecting the Torkoal to lead, and we'll just trade rocks. I can defog mine away after Victini takes 25%, or rather after I find out whether or not Victini is boots, and then I'll know that I can like outspeed it with some things, because if that Victini is Scarf, it's going to be a little tricky for Urshifu. I am adamant Urshifu. It's the exact same speed here as my Magmortar, except I'm Scarf, because like I said, there's kind of a big speed gap between like Buzzwole and Victini. So let's see what my opponent wants to lead. Of course, have fun to my opponent. I remembered my HP bar this time. So we see trainer cards. That's cool. That's fun. And I'm just checking with everyone else in the league, but it's looking like I'm still the best dressed trainer. So at this point, like, what week are we in UPBA? Is this week 6, or I think this is week 6, or is it week 7? Oh, I don't actually know which week was this. Let me check for a second. This was week number. This was week 7. So I'm now 7-0 in terms of how well I'm dressed. So I trade rocks with. Well, I go for rocks. I'm gonna see what this Runerigus wants to do. The Runerigus goes for the Will-O-Wisp. That's fine. It's kind of annoying, but it's fine. Like, Swampert's job wasn't necessarily to do damage. Its job was more to just be an annoying piece of garbage, like I'm about to do right here with the Yawn. Or I thought about flip turning right here. I honestly don't see this thing super staying in all the time. If he switches right now, that'll be great for me. I go for the flip turn, though. I am faster, but my opponent didn't switch. And I lose my damp, so I'm no longer damp. Instead, I'm a wandering spirit, but that is... yeah, okay, cool. So I now know that Runerigus wanted to stay in versus me. I'm going to go into my Corviknight. It can't do a lot to me, but I can't do a lot back to it, which is annoying. So I'm probably just going to U-turn away back into Swampert. I was honestly really expecting that thing to like switch out versus me. But at the same time, I'm burned, so I'm not doing any damage. Like, come on, my flip turn only did like... what was the damage that it did? I wasn't paying enough attention. So, yeah, it's got lefties. Yeah, burned, Swampert, not doing a lot of damage. And he went for the rocks too, which is fine. I do have my defog around. I could just go for it right away, but I'd rather U-turn. Like I said, I want my rocks to be up long enough to suss out Victini. Either get some damage or know that I can outspeed it with Urshifu. So we're doing this dance again. Like I said, this is kind of weird and bad and annoying because I honestly don't want to switch anything into an EQ. Right here, half my team is weak to EQ. My dumbass thought that would be a good idea, but, you know, at the same time, like, Slowking's amazing. And so is the other things. So I switch into a Will-O-Wisp, which is great because I am burned. So this time, if I'm smart, which, you know, asterisk, I'm going to go for the Yawn. So I guess I am actually smart. I realize, like, oh, I should have just done that in the first place. So this thing is about to take a nap. It will next turn. Goes for the Poltergeist. It sees that I am the Rindo Berry, and this is going to do a chunk to me. This is going to do a chunk, but that's fine. I'm getting worn down after the burn and stuff. I don't have lefties. I don't have any recovery. But now, next turn, this thing will fall asleep, which means I'm going to go for the flip turn again. Hopefully, he wants this thing to not be asleep, you know. As someone who's played Pokemon, I can say that I'd rather things not be asleep than be asleep. So it goes from the Buzzwole. That is a thing. Buzzwole does not skip leg day, contrary to what you would think. It can deadlift like 7 plates, but it's so insanely buff that it's like, I don't even know. I don't want to get hit by Buzzwole. It's also got the Rocky helmet, so maybe that's like some special lifting helmet that I don't know about. I don't know. So I'm going to go into Galaxy Brain, the Glow King, because I can go for a big fat Psychic, which now that I know that it is not AV, I'm pretty sure it just does all the damage in the world. I'm rechecking my calculations. I bet this thing is Fizz Def. Why am I thinking of clicking Sludge Bomb? Yeah, go for Psychic. There you go. There's no Dark type on this team. There's no Weavile. So Glow King is free to just go for Psychic. Maybe I should have brought Future Sight. I don't know. Future Sight has honestly kind of bitten me in the ass a couple times that I'm not always super comfortable with it. Aromatisse comes in. That's takes rocks, which is you know, great to get chip on this thing. So I go for the Psychic. Let's see the damage that it does. Not quite enough to kill it with another hit. Like it's pretty bulky here. So I'm just going to click another one. Sorry, I got like, oh, I went for Sledge Bomb this time. That's going to be doing a lot more. But my opponent goes for the Encore, and that's fine. That's fine. Because I'm going to go for another Psychic, and then another one after this will kill, especially because there is that Spadef drop. So, oh, you think that you can survive, make your time by going for a Wish? No. No, no. You don't have the chance to go for a Wish. You die to the next Psychic. But Protect, yeah, okay, fine. That's cool, I guess. But there's no Wish before that. And I think after the drop, it's doing that much, where that much is how much health my opponent has right here. So it's not a favorable situation for my opponent. At the same time, I've got nothing to lose by firing off another Psychic. That's the only thing I can fire off because of that Encore. Which is, yeah, annoying. And this Victini comes in. Victini takes damage from rocks. I go for a Psychic. That is doing about a quarter, despite being a resisted hit. So, Victini, I'm looking for switch-ins. This is scary. I think, you know what, Swampert, you are really low on health. Just commit die. Like, I have to sack Swampert right here. I don't really have much other choice. I take rocks. Goes for the U-turn. That is probably going to bring me close to dying. I somehow lived. But then the burn is going to take me out next turn. Which, like I said, I'm sacking this thing. But Torkoal comes out. Torkoal, who also took a round of rocks. So Swampert, having the extra 25% on those two things is super nice. Swampert goes down. I guess you could kind of maybe argue that it did its job. So I'm looking at something that can kill Torkoal. Urshifu, not quite. Maybe if you were able to get good, you could, but no, not going to happen. Especially, I don't want to take like a Lava Plume or a Will-O-Wisp or any of that. So I'm thinking like, wait, the sun is up. I've got a Magmortar. I've got a Magmortar in the sun that can just do haha damage. But even with the sun, Scorching Sands is doing more to Torkoal. Assuming that is Fizz Def, which why would it be anything else? Like, come on, it's probably got like Lava Plume, Heat Rock, Body Press, that kind of nonsense. So I go for the Scorching Sands, and that's just going to do, look at all that damage. Holy wow, just, yeah, Rapid Spin. So I've got no more, no more rocks, which is unfortunate, because now that means that Torkoal can survive the next time it comes in. And I don't have a Swampert to get them back up. And if he needs to get Sun up again, he'll be able to, which is super unfortunate. I got neither Scorching Sands nor the Fire Blast were quite doing enough to kill it. So it's not like it got a bad roll or anything. It just, it just was what it was. I know he's going to switch out right here. I don't really have anything to lose by Scorching Sands again, because there isn't that annoying thing, which is a Flying or Levitator. At the same time, I could have, predicted that he was going to switch and gone for a Fire Blast. But then, Fire Blast can miss, and I don't like moves that miss, unless I have no other choice. So I go for this move again, which isn't doing a lot to the Aromatisse. It's still got 25, but oh yeah, I got the burn. That's a thing that happens to people who switch in on the likes of Scald and that. So now I'm going to go for a special trick called a Fire Spin. So Fire Spin will do a couple things. It'll do damage to this Aromatisse. It'll trap this Aromatisse. And after a couple turns, it'll kill that Aromatisse. So now, you can't switch out. You can't switch out. Fire Blast probably would have killed it, though. I could have just... No, then I had a chance to miss. And I honestly, I just kind of wanted to show off my spice to show that I'm willing to do things to make sure my checks to Urshifu die. So Urshifu's life just got that much easier. There's still an entire Buzzwole, which is the Rocky Helmet, that can switch in on my Wicked Blow. There's still, what do you call it? There's still a fast Venusaur, which is just ass scary. Please don't hurt me. So I see this thing come in. I'm going to go for Scorching Sands, but come on. This is going to be a sun-boosted V-Create. Like, I really don't have a chance to survive this. Like, even if Magmortar is, like, thick AF, like, nah, yeah. See, that wasn't going to happen. Magmortar did a good job, though. It got a ton of damage on Torkoal. It took out the Aromatisse. It just, like, paved the way for Urshifu. After that Wish, though, Victini is back up to full, but I know that it's probably a Scarfer. So I go to Urshifu. I am Bear Force 1, and I'm going to click Wicked Blow. I kill Victini from here. Buzzwole is probably coming in right here. Yeah, I think that's a Buzzwole right there. Wicked Blow will not Twit KO this thing from this range, and I probably am taking more from Rocky Helmet than I'm doing to it. Yeah, so this isn't favorable for me. But I do still have, check this out, look what I have. It's an entire Glow King right there, which is great. And fantastic and wonderful. I like it a lot. So I'm going to go into Slowking, and this is where I'm going to click the Trick Room. Are all of Buzzwole's animations just like lifting poses? Because Buzzwole just did like the back laterals. Sometimes it does the sometimes when it does an attack, it does the like side chest. No, that wasn't any of those things. So I tank that Earthquake really well as I go for the Trick Room. Now watch this. Watch this. Sun is gone. I'm a click Psychic. And you've got no switch-ins to this. So this is basically like, who would you like to die right here, right now? Hopefully Buzzwole, so that Urshifu can just, start just going haha on things. So, Venusaur is still scary. Slowking will be at a lot more health after the regen. I still have a full health Raikou, which, like I said, I'm AV. I can live just about any one hit. I still... Basically, I'm just hoping for Urshifu. Oh, you see right there that as Buzzwole died, it did the double front biceps right there. Its hobby is lifting. In comes the Runerigus, and as my Trick Room is still up, this thing is actually going to be outspeeding just about everything. I would like to get health back on Slowking, so I'm going to switch into, like... I'm going to switch into Corv right here. Obviously, I don't want to bring in Urshifu just yet. I want to wait for Trick Room to go away. And in the meantime, I'm just going to get rid of my rocks because I don't want any extra damage to be taken by things. So, oh yeah, Poltergeist missed. That was kind of ass, but then again, like, that was pretty ass. So I'm going to go for the Defog right here. Yeah, speaking of misses, yeah, that was also kind of ass. Rodriguez, I'm sorry, but you need some classes right here. You're not of legal eyesight to get a permit at this time. So on the last Trick Room. Oh yeah, miss again. Wow, Rodriguez is blind. I'm so sorry about that. So this is the last room of Trick Turn. Wow, English is hard. The last turn of Trick Room. So I got a slow U-turn off right there. And now I can go into my Urshifu. Because I was absolutely 100% counting the turns of Trick Room right there. It wasn't like I just wondered why this thing was suddenly faster than me. I was like, oh, well, I know Urshifu outspeeds. And then I'm just, I wasn't at all surprised when I saw it say the twisted dimensions return to normal. So Urshifu, I've got the Wicked Blow. I can basically haha everything at this point. So I'm going to, do that as the Torkoal comes out and the Drought starts as I go for the Wicked Blow. So Torkoal goes down and Venusaur is about to come in. So I'm going to take a moment and pause my recording just so I can turn the volume off and start talking about things. Okay, so things got a little bit weird right here. And by a little bit weird, I don't mean in the battle. I mean, things got kind of weird. Okay. So, I'm sitting in my office, playing Pokemon, like normal men my age do. On the other side of my office was my lovely wife, who is like working, as responsible people are apparently supposed to do on Saturday mornings. Like, what do I know? No, honestly, I was just, I was doing responsible things today. I was making dentist appointments and stuff. Anyway, then my phone starts to ring, which was incredibly distracting because I have it set up that it rings through my computer. So it started making loud noise over my recording, which is why I pause it right here. So around this part of the battle, when Venusaur was coming in, which is like the most important part, because I'm at this point where I'm up 4-3 and I have to play very, very carefully around this thing if I want to win. But my phone rings, and of course my dad thought that would be a perfect time to call and talk when I was playing this Pokemon game. So I ignore my phone, but then wife picks it up and it's like, Moshi Moshi, Trogdor's phone desu. And And then it's like, please allow me to speak to my son. And she says, oh, he's a bit tied up at the moment. So that's around like this turn, and he's just like, do I even want to know? And of course, I'm not going to say, I'm playing Pokemon, Dad. I'm not going to say that, because then I'm going to get the whole, like, I can't believe you're, still playing those video games. Like, you're a failure of a son, all that stuff. Like, I'm not in the mood to hear that. It's like, why would you be playing Pokemon instead of, like, trying to talk to me all morning? It was weird. It was weird. Like, So, I'm being distracted by them now talking, figuring out, like, some travel plans, as I'm sitting here, and I need to put 100% of my attention into not losing, but I'm, like, 100% distracted. I'm so distracted that I missed this move right here. That Venusaur went for growth, and I didn't see that move happen. So I'm back at this, and it's like, oh, it probably went for EQ or something. So I think I can Roost, but the Weather Ball comes off and does all this damage to me. So I figured, like, okay, if he has Weather Ball, he's probably Weather Ball, Dual Stab, EQ, or Earth Power. So it's obviously Life Orb. So I'm still super distracted, and I need to calc, like, oh, can Galaxy Brain live a hit? Do I need to switch this in and sack Raikou to get all my regen health back to live in EQ? Do I just go for Raikou right now and live in Earth Power and go for extra sensory? Do I go for a Sucker Punch with Bear Force 1 and then again? Because Sucker Punch is only doing like 58 or something. It Sucker Punch is a 2-hit KO. I can kill with Wicked Blow, but I've got Sun to be gone for that to happen. Or I need to make sure, like, oh, maybe he has, not quite enough special attack to kill me with a Giga Drain. So I'm just, like, all over the place right now. I didn't see growth happen. If I saw that happen, I'd be like, oh, I've got no chance to survive, make my time. Keep in mind, that was an absolutely amazing play on my opponent's part, going for that growth right there, knowing full well that my Urshifu could switch out. I could have stayed in and gone for the Wicked Blow. So right here, I'm thinking, like, oh, I can go for the Trick Room because Slowking is thick AF and can live any unboosted hit from this Pokemon. I didn't see growth happen. I'm playing this game, I'm doing all my calcs, trying to figure this stuff out, assuming is that neutral? Because again, on one hand, it's not my fault for, circumstances of my dad not only calling once, but then because he doesn't know the first thing about computers, like the difference between routers and switches and how to flush DNS cache or whatever, and basically like lost reception or phone battery or whatever, had to call back right away. So my computer is doing that thing where it's ringing again, and I can't like tab over to turn it off because I'm busy playing this game. It's like I've just got all these distractions like happening, and just it was rough. Yeah, if I saw the growth, it would have So he goes for the EQ, and I'm just like, okay, I guess, I guess that happened. Really wish that I was Shukaberry and not AV on Raikou at this point. Maybe I could have lived, but no, it's at +2. So, and regular unboosted Earthquake, no Shukaberry, kind of kills me. But I didn't know it was boosted. Yeah, it's just kind of rough at this point. Because the calcs that I'm doing aren't making sense. I'm like, wait a minute. Is he max attack? But Weather Ball was able to kill Corviknight. Is he just, like, not enough speed? Is he not speed invested enough? Like, to have all the attack and special attack needed to do that much damage to my Pokemon? I don't know. I was just so confused and kind of flustered and a little bit pissed off. So I'm thinking like, okay, Raiku's thick enough that I can live that EQ, but I can't at all. So at this point, I'm thinking like, okay, if he's that invested in attack, then surely he doesn't have enough special attack to kill Urshifu, or enough speed to outspeed me. I'm Adamant Scarf, but it's like modest, and the sun can do enough. And who knows? Maybe if I'm lucky, the sun will go away right now. But no, it doesn't. But if I land a Wicked Blow, like, I win. Because I'm doing enough damage to this thing. I'm doing enough damage to the other two things he has left, which I believe are Victini. No, Victini already died, right? Did it? I don't remember. But yeah, it goes for the Giga Drain, and I go down. Who knows? Maybe I should have gone for Sucker Punch. But then I'd be locked into it, and one of the things that he has left was the, I want to say the Runerigus. Yeah, so basically I lose 3-0. So good game to my opponent. I know I was complaining a lot there towards the end, and I'm sorry that it was so weird and bad, but it was just not exactly the way that I wanted to lose because of things outside of my control. Yeah, good game to my opponent. Yeah, I'm just more mad at myself than anything. It's like, pay attention to your Pokemon games than family calling for any reason. Like, yeah, that's what you gotta do, isn't it? Anyway, if you haven't already, check out my opponent's side of the battle. I've been rambling on for 37 minutes, so yeah, go watch my opponent. And I'll see you next week for more UPBA, and I'll see you tomorrow also for APAA, which is gonna be an even better battle than this one, or at least better commentary. The battle's going to be kind of funny, so stay tuned for that nonsense. All right. Take care now. Bye-bye.